Hey, this is dumediat, and I'm back here on BremSter's channel for a solve of another puzzle. This one is Erinnert Euch Des Königs, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, by Lea Addams. My understanding is it translates from German to English as Remember the King, and that's probably going to be important when we're solving this puzzle. I don't believe I've solved a puzzle by Lea Addams before, but I'm sure I'm missing out by having not done that. But let's get into the rules of this puzzle. So we've got normal Sudoku rules, so each row, each column, and each 3x3 box must contain the digits 1 to 9 once each with no repeats. We've also got these rule about anti-king, which means that digit may not be, it may not touch another digit diagonally as a king's move. So by Sudoku, let's just look at this cell here. By Sudoku, normally we wouldn't be able to touch any of these cells. But then by anti-king, since kings can move diagonally in chess, we can't have the same digit in any of those cells. So it actually kind of touches all of the surrounding cells. Okay, then we have German whispers. So adjacent digits along a German whisper line must have a difference of at least 5. So for example, if I were to put a 1 in this cell, this next cell would have to be either 6, 7, 8, or 9, because that would be at least 5 away from 1. Any of those would work. We have an arrow in this with a pill instead of normal arrows. If you haven't seen this before, what this means is that the digits on this arrow must sum to the number we place in this 2-digit pill, read left to right. So if some reason we decided that this was a 25 arrow, then these cells here would have to sum to 25. And then we have ratio pairs. So the cells that are separated by a black dot must be in a 2-to-1 ratio. So in other words, one must be double the other. So if I were to put a 2 here, this could be a 1, it could be a 4. And we don't have anything here about a negative constraint. So for example, if we wanted to put a 3 here with a 6 next to it, that's totally okay in this puzzle. All right, I'll go ahead and restart my timer and give this one a try. So one thing that can be helpful to do on a German whisper line is color coding. And what I mean by that, if you haven't solved the German whisper puzzle before, the rules of the line have a couple implications, a few different. Number one, we can never put a 5 on a line, even if it's on the end. The next adjacent digit has to be at least 5 different, so that would be a 0 or a 10, which are not valid fills in this puzzle. Some you might find with 0 being allowed, not here. Because of that, we get this sort of high-low balance where we're going to have a low digit 1 through 4, for example. Doesn't have to be here, but just to show, even if we make this a 1, the next highest digit would be 5 different, would be a 6. And we couldn't be lower than 6. So this is what's meant by high-low, is below 5 or above 5. And as we go along this line, this is going to alternate, because again here, even if we made this a 9, the next lowest digit, we can make this as a 4. And so we get this sort of alternating high-low. So what we can do in a lot of cases when we've got these longer lines is color code every other cell along the line, one color, and then the opposite cells, the other color. So we don't know whether yellow is high or low and which one blue is, but we do know the general sort of layout of them. And what I can see immediately from doing this, and these are all symmetrical. I'm not going to color them all because we don't know for sure. And actually, I think I know for a fact that these will be different. But right now, in the face of it, we don't want to confuse ourselves by making this yellow and blue when in fact it might be the other way around. So I try not to use too much coloring. But I did notice, because we have anti-king, remember the king, this cell can't touch any of these other cells. Same thing with this one, it can't be any of these 4. So when you get this diamond pattern, each of these cells sees all of the other cells. And so this must be 4 different digits. And that's going to be interesting. And that's because of another property of whisper lines. So a couple digits that you have to make sure you're aware of are 4 and 6 on a whisper line. We have a 4 on a line. The only digit that's at least 5 different from it is 9. And so we could put a 9 next to the 4. That's the only digit that can go next to a 4. Similarly with 6, the next lowest digit would be a 1 because it's 5 away. So 4 and 6 are each digits that can only have one neighbor. Now, normally in a puzzle like this, if, for example, this cell can never be 4 or 6 because these two cells see one another. And so if we put a 4 here, these would both have to be 9. Normally, that wouldn't be true when these two cells don't see each other by Sudoku. They're in different boxes. In a normal puzzle, these could both be 9. But because we've got anti-king in this puzzle, you're seeing this is lighting up because it's saying these 9s are touching diagonally. So this actually, you can't have a line here because these would be the same and violate the anti-king rule. Same thing with this cell. So what I noticed is I was asking myself, if yellow is low, we need to put 1, 2, 3, and 4 because we know these are 4 different digits. If it's high, it's 6, 7, 8, or 9. So could we put a 4 or a 6 in any of these cells? Let's just use 4 for an example. This one obviously can't be 4 because these would both be 9 in the same row. So that's out. Same thing with this 4. This would both be. But this one also can't be because both of these would be 9. And so these would touch by and violate the anti-king rule. So the only place we could put 4 if yellow is low is in this cell. And the same exact thing is going to be true if yellow is high. These cells can't have a 6 in them. If that's a 6, these would both be 1. And if this is 6, these would both be 1. And same thing here. So this is either 4 or 6. And these are the other 3 within that grouping, the higher or low. But we're going to have the exact same thing with this cell. I'm going to delete the coloring here. Well, I'm going to use different coloring just to highlight the point that this is symmetric. We use purple and orange over here. Again, these purple cells are the ones we need to focus on because, again, each of these see the other 3 by anti-king and by Sudoku. And again, this cell can't be 4 or 6 because of these two cells. Same with this one, can't be 4 or 6. And this one can't be 4 or 6 because it would create a violation of anti-king. So this is also 4 or 6. And what I was saying before of how I noticed that I can actually color this blue and yellow is because this is a 4-6 pair. This is the yellow 4-6. So if I try to make this yellow, that's saying that if yellow is low, these are both 4. And that can't be true. So this cell is blue, and we get the blues around here like this, and we get yellows like that. That's really cool. And so the other thing we can say is next to 4, if this is a 4, this is going to be a 9. If this is 6, this is going to be a 1. And the same is true here. And this is just going to be reflected. The same logic is going to apply here because we got our alternating lines, our anti-king. We have 4 different digits in whether this is high or low. The 4, the 6 has to be here, and that sees this 4, 6. So this has to be yellow, and then this has to be blue, with this being the 1 or the 9, depending on which one this is. It's really neat. Some other things I'm trying to be cognizant of is 5s. I don't know if we're going to be able to use it yet, but I do see that like 5 can never go on a whisper line. So 5 is in one of these 3 cells. Like we're pretty restricted on where 5s can go in these columns, but I'm not sure I'm prepared to pencil mark anything about that yet. This one can't be a 5 because 5 on a dot would either need a 2.5 or a 10 in the other cell, which we can't do. That might be important later, but I'm not going to pencil mark that yet. I'm just convincing myself. Yeah, I'm not going to do that yet. Okay, so the other question then to ask, this cell here, and I'm speaking, let me just look at this one because this is the one we've been looking at. This speaks for all of them. I'm just looking if we have the same sort of relationship as we did with yellow, where each cell sees the other. This sees all three. This one doesn't see this one. So those could theoretically be the same digit. But this sees all three. So these two are definitely different. But these two could be the same. Just wondering if this can be 4 or 6. The other interesting thing is this sees all of these digits. So these are 5 different digits. Actually, these are 6 different digits. This one is interesting because it can't, this is the normal Sudoku. It can't see this by anti-king. But you might think these could see these two cells, but the problem is it's the wrong strata here. This is blue and these are yellow cells, so these can't be the same digit. So actually we've got this sort of pattern here where these are 6 different digits. And we've got at least a 7th, if not 8 different digits here. But I think it works if they are 8 different digits, because this could be 4, 6, this could be 1, 9, and then we've got our 2, 3, 7, 8 along here. If these are all different digits, yeah, I don't know if we can say anything about 5. Because it doesn't mean that like this cell could be any of those 3 cells, so we don't, or it could be 5. Okay, getting distracted. This cell might be interesting because it sees a 1-9 pair and a 4-6 pair. So on a ratio dot, the only digits we have available are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. It's because the digits 5, 7, and 9 don't have sort of a pair across where one is double the other. 5 would require a 10 or 2.5, 7 requires 3.5 or 14, and then 9 requires 4.5 or 18. But this can't be 1, 4, or 6 because of these pairs. This can't be 6. This can't be 8. Oh, sorry, it can't be 3. This can't be 4, so this can't be 8. And this can't be 2 because this would need a 1 or a 4 here. It's a little bit restricted. So this is 6 and 1. This would be 4. Interesting. If that's 6, 1, that's 4. Or this is, so one of these two is a 4. If this is 4, 9, this is 1, 2, or 3, 6. It's not as restricted. But we do know one of these two is 4. We don't have the same thing here because this doesn't see a 4, 6 pair. So this is 6. This is 4. And this is 4. So 4 would go here because 4 can't be in these two cells by the anti-king. But again, I don't see a problem with that. Maybe it's this we have to think about. It's a little scary to think about. I don't know if we know enough about this though, because we don't know as much as we did. Like this digit could repeat here, and this digit could repeat here. It's true this digit can't repeat on the arrow, and neither can this digit because of Sudoku and anti-king. But I don't know if we know enough about it. What if this isn't 4-6? If this isn't 4-6, this has to be a 1-9. We have to have a repeat because we can't have 4-6 anywhere else along this. Oh, maybe it's that. Yeah, okay. I mentioned before I was looking at 5s, but I also have to look at 4s and 6s. We've already proven that these cells can't be, well, we haven't proven these can't be. But we have proven none of these can be 4 and 6. Because again, it would create 2 9s or 2 1s touching one another or seeing each other by Sudoku. So this is a 4-5-6 triple. And this is a 4-5-6 triple for the same reason. Because again, we can't have 4 and 6 in these cells. So this is 4-5-6. That's not 5. Okay. That does give us something. This can't be 5 because of this dot, so it can't be the yellow 4-6, so this is the blue 4-6. And that goes next to a 2, 3, or an 8 are the options. But what that means is this can't be 4-6. So if that's not 4-6, it's 2, 3, 7, 8. Because it's blue, it can't be the blue 1-9, so it's 2, 3, 7, 8. And this sees all of these cells. We know this can't be 4-6. Okay, this is a little bit hard to explain, but I'm going to try. So let's imagine this is 2, just for the sake of argument here. So we've got a 1 and a 2 here. Neither of these can be 2. They also can't be 4. So they can only be from 1 or 3. But this one sees 1 by Sudoku. So no matter what we put in, whether this is high or low, if we do a 3, it's going to show up the same way. I'll show it in a minute, but these are going to be the same cell. It's from the logic we did before, but it might be kind of hard to see. If that's a 3, and this is a 1, because we know blue is low, these can't be 3. And they can't be 4 because of the logic we did earlier, so they're 1 and 2. This sees a 1, so that's 2, 1. So these are always the same. Once we roll 4, 6 out here, we get 9 here. And this is 2, 3, 7, 8. So this is the other 2, 3. I'm wondering if it's worth giving this like a little separate color, like this, just so we can distinguish. And these are the same digit. Yeah, now we've got a 4-6 pair here, so we're going to get that again. That's really cool. 2, 3, 7, 8. So using the exact symmetric logic here, we know this is opposite here is the 1-9, the repeated digit. Yep, and so then this is 2, 3, 7, 8. And these are 2 different ones. So we'll make this one, I don't know, the best way to do this. Orange and red. Let's just use that. It's going to get a little bit colorful, but I'll remove that once we don't need it anymore. Okay, We don't have a 4-6 pair looking at this yet, though. Okay, so the other thing we know here, I think, no, we don't know that yet. This one we do know something about. You see the 1-9 pair, and it sees the blue 4-6, so this is 2, 3, 7, 8, and it's not the gray one, so it's got to be this one, the pink one. Okay, so then this one sees blue 4-6 by Sudoku, pink 2, 3, 7, 8 by Anti-Knight, and gray in the box. So this has to be the blue 1-9, which means this is not blue 1-9. It also wasn't from here, not 4-6, so it's the other 2, 3, 7, 8. That's gray. So these are the same digit. These both see blue 1-9. These can't be 4-6, so these are the other 2, 3, 7, 8. And then if we can also just look at it by what we need still in the row, this is also 2, 3, 7, 8. And it's not the orange one, so it's the red one. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this cell sees the 1-9 and both blue 2, 3, 7, 8s. So this is a 4-6. And so this is also 1-9. So this is yellow 1-9. This has to be then the other 2, 3, 7, 8 in yellow. That sees 1-9 and 4-6, and it touches the red one. So it must be the orange one. What else do we have? What is this? We have the 1-9s, 4-6, yellow 4-6. And, so it's got to be 2, 3, 7, 8, because it can't be 1-9 or 4-6, and it sees this one, so it must be the red one. This sees this 1-9, and it sees this 4-6, so it's 2, 3, 7, 8, and it's not the red one, it is the orange one. And so this sees this one by Anti-Knight, this one by Anti-Knight, this one by Sudoku, so this is yellow 1-9. Wow, okay. So we've got a sort of a multi-coloring puzzle going on here. Just trying to be careful. I wonder if there's a way to figure out which ones, because you're going to have a, if you have a 7 in here, it's going to be next to a 2. And so then once we have the 8, we know that's next to a 3. So we can't make this 2, 8, for example, because if we do that, because these are 4 different digits, if this is 2, 8, this would be 3, 7. And 3 and 7 can't go next to each other on a whisper line. So one of these is a 2, 7 pair and the other is a 3, 8 pair. Don't know if we can tell which one though, because they're kind of circled by 1s and 9s, so they're not being restricted. Okay, I'm just looking to see. Oh, this one can't be 2, 3, 7, or 8 because it sees both yellow ones. It sees both yellow ones and it sees both blue ones, and it can't be 1 or 9, and it can't be 4 or 6. So it's just, this is a 5. That was a very unexpected first digit, 22 minutes into the solve, but very cool. Okay, so we've got this 4-6 sees this one, so this is the yellow 4-6, this is the blue 4-6. One of these is the yellow 4-6, but it's not touching anything by anti-king. So these are the other 2, 3, 7, 8s. We need the gray one and the orange one. I don't know which ones those are yet. That's okay. We've got our 2, 3, 7s, and 8s taken up though, and 4, 6. So these are 1, 5, 9, with the 5 being in one of those two. And so the other thing you can see, where does 5 go in column 2? It goes up here. Oops. So my color mode. Okay, so 5 looks over into box 3. None of those can be 5, so that's our 5. This is the yellow 4, 6. This is a 5. So looking up into this box by Sudoku, 5 is in one of those two. By Sudoku, 5 is on the arrow. Okay. So here we need the yellow 4, 6 and the blue 1, 9. We don't touch yellow 4, 6 yet. In fact, one of these two is the yellow 4, 6. Oh, we've got a 4, 6 pair here. We probably had that for, and that's too long, but long enough. This is a 1 because of that, so that's a 2. So that's not 2. This, oh, we're going to get the high-low now. We can kind of tone down the coloring a little bit. This is a 9 now, so this has to be a 4. We know that blue is high throughout the puzzle. So this is, because this is a 2, this needs to be low as 3, 2. So red is 2, orange is 3, 7 or an 8. Blue is high, 6, 1. Split high, 4, 1, 4, 9. This is a 6, so this has to be a 3 for the ratio dot. There's no 2 or 3 here. Okay, so this is the other, this is the gray 7, 8. There's no 9 here. 7, 8 looks up, and the 2 looks up, making this the 3. Now I'm going to delete my, actually this 3 makes this an 8. So can't go next to 7. This 3 makes this an 8, which makes this the 7. This, so pink is 8, gray is 7. And this is a 9. Okay. And then these are 1s, and this is a 4. Okay, so now that the whispers are done, I'm going to delete the coloring. That's a lot of different colors. Okay, so the rest of this, we need a 4, 9 pair here. Don't see anything by anti-king. Like this is 4, 7, 9. This 4, 9 looks over, making this the 7. This column needs a 2 and an 8, which isn't resolved yet. Oh, yes, it is. This 2 makes it 2. This will probably become an anti-king puzzle pretty soon. This pair, 7, 8. We know the order of that. 7, 8. This row needs 3, 5, and 8. That not being a 5. This isn't an 8. This isn't a 3. Okay. Sometimes when you're in these anti-king puzzles, it helps to look in columns next to a column that you have totally filled in, or a row. We'll look at these first, just to rule out some options. So forgive the pencil marking here, but this is 2, 4, 5, 6, 8 left for the column. This isn't 6 or 8. I think it's not 5. So this is 2 or 4. This is not 5, but I think it can be, it's not 2 or 4 by Sudoku, so this is 6 or 8. This is not 4 or 8 by anti-king, and this is not 6 or 4. Okay, so now we've ruled 4 out. This 4 ruled these out. This 4 ruled this out. And this 4. So in column 4, we need to put a 4 here. 9, 4, 9. The 2 in this column is down here. I don't think we can get anything more from that. So let's look at row 5. We need 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is not, that's not 1. I don't think we get anything else, which is not great. This is going to be better. It's not 3, 7, 8, or 9. So it's 1 or 6. This is not 6 or 7 by anti-king. Or 8 by Sudoku. This is not 1 or 7 or 9 by Sudoku in the box. So 3, 6, 8. And this is not 1, 7, 9. But that could be 3, 6, 8. So we get a 3, 6, 8 triple. I guess the other easier way, without even using anti-king, is just to say we need 1, 7, and 9 in this row. 1, 7, and 9 are in box 5 already. So this has to be a 1, 7, 9 triple. So that's 1, that's 9, and that's 7. That's also, you can see that by getting this triple the hard way like I did. This is a 2 and a 4, which we don't know the order of yet. This is a 2 and a 6. Don't know that yet. So one cool trick here, we know one of these is 4. So neither of these is 4. Same thing with 2, but we already knew that this can't be 2. So there's no 4 here, so the 4 in row 7 has to go over here. But we have Sudoku looking down. So this is a 4. And this is 1, 3, and 1, 3, 6. Oh, no. 3, 5, 6. It's not a 5. This is not a 3. This is not a 6. We can't put 5 here because of this. We need a 5 in one of these two. That's not 5. That's not 5. So one of these is 5. It's not this one. Okay, not quite as restricted. And then this can't be 6. This can't be 6 by Sudoku. And this can't be 6 by anti-king. One of these two needs to be a 6. So 6 in this goes here. 6 out of this cell. We now have a 2, 5, 8 triple, so this is a 6. 3, 8 pair. So 8 can't go here or here, so 8's in one of those, but I don't want to pencil mark that. None unless I have to. May help to fill in. Let's fill in the rest of this column. 3, 6, 8, 9. This isn't 3 or 6. This isn't 3 or 8. So 9's down here. Oh, and we already said this can't be 6 because one of these two needs to be a 6. So that's a 9. That's an 8. Nine by Sudoku down here needs to go here. So this one. 8 goes in one of those two. So lines up with that 8. Okay, so in row, we can't have an 8 here anymore. This is a 2, 5 pair, so this is an 8. 3, 5. 3 makes this an 8 and this a 3. This is not an 8, so this is an 8. All right, what does this row need? 1, 5, 6, 7. So this is not a 6 by Sudoku, and it's not a 5 by anti-king. Put a 5 here, there's no 5 in those two. This is not 1 or 7 or 5, so it's just a 6. And this is not a 5. So we get a 1 7 pair. This is our 5 with a 1. This 6 looks like making this 2 and 6. This 2 makes this 4, 2. This box still needs 1, 4, and 7. And the 1, 4 makes this the 7, 1, 4, 7. I'm saving this arrow to the end just in case this is resolving a deadly pattern, which I'm rooting for. 1, 2, 5. Last row, so this 1 moves 1 out of here, so that's a 1. This is 2, 5, 6 for the column. And this is 3 or 5 for the column. Don't see that ruling anything out. We know the 2's down here, but we already knew that. Okay. So we are going to get, normally you couldn't resolve this, but this, if I were sending this puzzle, I would bet that this arrow was placed last. So let's see. We have a sum along this of 21 so far. So there's no way we're getting to 50. Yeah, we have 21. This would need to sum to 30. So this is a 3. 5, 6, 3. Lea Addams, thank you for not making me do the math on this. I like that. It's just kind of resolves obviously. You don't have to push too hard. Okay, so we've got a 2, 5. There's no anti-king, so we just count this up. So we said we had 21, 32. 2, 5, 5, 2. And that's the solution to Erinnert Euch des Königs. Hopefully, again, I'm saying that correctly. Remember the king. Great puzzle. I really like this geometry here with the anti-king and how that worked with the whispers. And then just sort of allowing us to... It took us a while to resolve the coloring, but we did get sort of 4, 6 pairs, 1, 9 pairs. And I had to do a little bit of multicoloring to get those 2, 3, 7, 8s, but in the advanced German whisper puzzles, that's a pretty common trick, so it's good to get practice on that. If you tried this puzzle, let me know if you used that, what you thought of the puzzle overall, but I love this. Thanks very much, Lea, and hopefully I'll be back soon. Until then, have a good day, and take care.